So my name is Quindell Evans. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me then? Hold on, let me say it one more time. Hold on. I said my name is Quindell Evans. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me then? Check out the shirt, bluepoetry.com. Blue is the color of dream. Poet is the already inscribed with the power to open the eye. Tree is the seed that branches off and leaves and grows wherever it goes. Let's go. So right now, we here with Soul, aka Asia, this beautiful being right here. And you know, I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I was coming over here to allow her to participate in this Blue Poetry podcast. But she's way deeper than I thought. You know, I knew she was deep, you feel me, just by the content she posted on her social network. But I didn't know she was deep, living with another deep sister. And they both just like teamed up on me and took me to school. You know, like really, like took me to school, took me way back to class of 2000. You feel me? And I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share some back and forth with these young ladies. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
I never really practiced introduction. But I'm so, my earth name was given to me was Asia. Pronounced Aisha.
Aisha.
People pronounce it Asia. Oh, you super close.
They gotta see you.
So that stuff. I don't know. So I crochet. And I'm working on a project. I started crocheting for the homeless, a couple months back. And it's basically just to show them that there is unconditional love out here, that not everybody is all for self, that there are people that care about them, or just people who don't have what we have in a general sense.
You want to help them out and do something?
Yeah, I want to give them something.
Give them some scarves.
Yes.
What else you crochet? Some hats, gloves, or just scarves?
So I didn't really make it that far.
Yet.
Yet. To other stuff, because I really just want to expand on the scarves. I just want to be able to because scarves to me personally just mean something. It's just wrapping your neck. When you wrap your neck, for some reason, it causes warmth everywhere else. For me personally.
Yeah, I'm warm now. I'm warming up. I was cold, it was freezing. Let me know if I'm still hot.
No, you good now.
Cold. Yeah, I'm warmed up.
Good now, because you was cold earlier.
Yeah, I was freezing. You know what I mean? But I think y'all warmed me up when y'all hit me with the spirit energy thing.
That was dope though.
So today I wanna talk to you about why you do what you do. You know, I want to talk to you about when you started, what do you see yourself finishing, you know, give some background on your history of art, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to share some of the projects I've been working on. I have some munchies. I don't know if you like dates. I want to... You like dates? You ever ate dates?
Nah, I'm just focused on your books.
Right.
See, you real Caribbean out here.
Right. You don't like dates?
It's not that I don't like them. It's I don't know. It's something about my parents forcing me to eat them when I was younger that just makes me not eat them now.
Oh, okay. No doubt.
But now that I'm looking at your books, I'm actually trying to get a book published.
We can talk about that. That's a very simple thing. There's a website called lulu.com. And they allow you to publish your books for free. This createspace.com, an Amazon program. It allows you to publish your book for free, you know, and distribute it to bookstores, online, everywhere. Mm-hmm. So yeah, these are some things I want to talk about. But I would like to sing a song for you though.
Ooh, is it the Smile song?
Nah, it's not just my
Oh,
song.
damn, I didn't like that song.
I can sing that too. But just want freestyle, you feel me? Just to when I do my like poetry workshops and stuff like that, I like to start off with a song just to set the mood, introduce myself in a poetic or artistic sense.
Okay.
So yeah, let me freestyle. Let me see. So and matter of fact, no disclaimer.
Okay.
I mean, I could just give a disclaimer, communicate. So like, people may not know, I never really like, I always thought I could sing, rap, do poetry and all that, but I never was really I never really identify myself as like a singer, like a Michael Jackson or Stevie Wonder or R. Kelly. I never really thought my voice was like the voice, but I just like to do it.
Yeah.
So I just sing out of like self-expression. I just express myself, and I think like people who have like a passion for it are more able to take off and be more successful than the people who are naturally talented.
Yes.
So if you got a good voice, but you don't even think you got a good voice and you too scared to perform, I feel like you more behind a person who actually has a bad voice, but who's not afraid and more willing to just hit the stage. So I like being behind a mic, no matter how I sound. Let me see. Alright. Goddamn, girl, you're so fine. You got that look in your eyes. Goddamn, girl, you're so fine. You got that spark in your eyes. I want you for the night, 'cause I know I'm no good for your life. Oh, 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 goddamn, girl, you're so fine. It's on my mind when I'm on your timeline. But right now, what's on my mind is you look better when I see you eye to eye. Oh, 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 type shit. Can we pretend? Hold on, let me see. Let's pretend for one night that I'm the man in your life. Can we do the things that lovers do? Na 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 na. I want you na na ooh, na 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 na. I want you na 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 ooh. Yeah.
Hey.
Alright.
I wish I could snap like you.
Baby, I got some rough fingers.
Damn.
You might have to like lick your fingers first.
It's not gonna work. My hands dirty.
Alright, so yeah, my name is Quindell Evans, bluepoetry.com. Right now we with Soul. You feel me? Soul. And we just had like a very deep conversation that I think was caught on camera. So hopefully we can share that pre-conversation as well too. It might be a little explicit. We was very we wasn't holding back no type of language, none of that. We was just letting it go.
Raw all the time.
Straight raw.
That's why my name is Soul.
Tight. So first question is, like what is your inspiration or purpose? What's your intentions behind sharing yourself branding yourself and sharing your art? Like, what do you do it for?
Yeah. So like, if anybody just like has me on social media, I'm naked most of the time. So like the purpose, first of all, of that is just to practice and just to try to show or project desexualization of the woman body, to understand that it can be looked at as something else besides sex. So my inspiration. So like my inspiration comes from pain. I was abused, and it just I wrote a poem about it, and it's just basically I was taught to love aggressively, in an aggressive way, and I didn't come out loving like that. I came out loving in a positive way, aggressively. If that makes any sense. And it's just to show that I know what pain feels like. I know what dying feels like.
You're alive, though.
Yeah, I've died in many ways though.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to expand on that.
I'm gonna get to that later. You can
Okay,
keep.
thank you. So yeah, so I wasn't ready to go that far. That so, so I understand. I've been homeless. I've been in different situations where I can relate to a lot of people, and I've taken myself and placed myself in separate opportunities to just learn of other people. I've like sat down with homeless people in the city and just tried to understand their situation and where they're coming from. Even if they were lying, I didn't really care where it's coming from. But just to learn the stories of people, the mindsets of people, and just try to project a positive outlook on it. Because living in a negative mindset can really hurt. I've lived in it. It's not fun.
So when did you start like
Thank you, because I know.
when did you start like branding yourself and promoting yourself on social media in a consistent way?
Recently?
Recently? Like how recent? Like
2 months ago.
like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
And before that, you was just off and on with it? Or like there were other consistent times in the past when you slowed down? And
There's other consistent times in the past, and I slowed down.
do you feel like the content you promoting during those other consistent times were the same, or you feel like you slowed down, got better, and readjusted and came back stronger, like came back with more purpose?
Yeah, most of the time that I stopped or I slowed down was to reestablish and just realign myself, and then make sure anytime I come back it is stronger than the last time I came back. And this time when I'm projecting myself, it is a whole lot stronger than it was before. It's more in tuned, more aligned, more happy.
No doubt. So you said that most of your photos is naked and you post to desexualize the image of woman. Is this something you feel personal about, or is just like, oh, I want to do this for other women, or is it something like you feel personally is something with you, like, you know, men, you have a personal experience with men that's allowing you to be like, I need to help other women who've been through what I've been through type vibe?
It is that. Like, you know, like I said, if you're on my Instagram, I have already a very different look. I look weird as it is. And most of the time when guys see me, I'm extremely sexualized. And I tried to do it backwards, where I wore more clothes. I went through an entire tomboy phase where I was just wearing big clothes, big jeans. Even if my jeans were a little tight, my shirt was super big. And it didn't matter that I had that on. Guys will still sexualize me. So it was like, okay, so it doesn't, and I'd rather be naked. So it was like, okay, so it doesn't matter what I have on. You're gonna look at me some type of way regardless. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be me. So I decided to project myself as the person who chooses to be naked. And if you choose to look at me as a in a sexual way, that just proves to me the simple mind that you have. Because I don't need to put clothes on for you to sexualize me, clearly. You've proven that to me. Men have proven that to me. So now that I project a naked way, if you still choose to sexualize me, I just even know how more simple you are. Because even though I project a sexualized image, if you pay attention, there's reasons for it. I place it in a way where you can see why it is the way it is.
Okay. So you kind of lure niggas into...
Technically, if you really think about it,
to like see where they at, you like to see exactly
where your mind is.
Yeah, see where they mind at, and that's a good thing. You're able to, the ability to pull out people's true intention is a powerful thing. So I appreciate you expressing your power.
Jai. Dre's calling. Answer?
No.
So you said you wrote a poem about it.
Yes.
Is that something you do often? You write poetry?
Yes.
You do any other types of performing arts?
I sing.
You sing, you write poetry, dance?
No. I be trying.
You be trying to
You
dance?
feel me? I be trying.
No, you black, so all black people.
You exactly. I have rhythm.
Okay.
It's just like, I can't really run it myself the way I want to.
So, you sing, you rap.
No.
I mean, you sing, you do poetry. You
I write as well. I'm working on it.
You write. You want to be an author.
Mm-hmm.
Got a book you trying to pop out with.
Mm-hmm.
And you knit. You got some knittings.
Crochet.
Some crochets, some scarves you trying to pop out with.
And I'm also an assistant photography teacher.
And you work behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these artistic talents. Do you feel like you always had these talents, or did you just recently start to get on that too?
The singing and the writing were constant. Photography I taught myself, and crocheting I taught myself.
So constant singing and writing. What is that? Like, what age did you start?
I started writing first, not to be raw, but I'm a raw person. It started off as suicidal letters to myself. And 1 second, sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm in the middle of the podcast. Coming down. All right.
Your friend is here.
Yes. 1 second. Jai.
I'm just laying down. Huh?
Can you do me a favor, please, 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 please?
No, actually. Give me 5 minutes.
5. So you want to just pause it and go get your friend?
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't nothing. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. So we back at the Blue Poetry Podcast. It's your boy Quindell Evans, and I'm with Soul, aka Aisha, aka
Say my name right.
aka the one who will lure you in and break down your true intentions. Like real talk. We need more people who does that. Because people's intentions aren't always genuine. You feel me? I want to say pure. I don't know what that means. But like people's intentions aren't always genuine. They aren't always for a better cause. So if you could find out what people's intentions are from the jump, you can base your relationship with them off of a more guided, perspective. Because it's okay if you're around somebody who don't have the same intentions as you. But if you know that, then you can allow the relationship to bloom in the way it's supposed to, and not thinking you're going to grow an apple out of an orange tree. So,
Talk that talk.
Word. So,
No.
I want to find out more about like when you began to express this art. You crochet.
Yeah, that should be.
You do poetry. I don't know if you want to share some of your poetry. You said you wrote a poem specifically about fuck niggas.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that.
It's not specifically about. Damn, I had to repeat it twice because it was literally I had to. But it's not about fuck niggas. It's basically I had to do it because I'm dealing / trying to detach myself away from a person that just I hope, damn, he's gonna know it's about him. But whatever. This basically drains me a little bit emotionally because, whatever the case may be. So I had to basically recheck myself because the person asked me, why am I so emotional? And I had to really check myself because I had to ask, am I fucking emotional? Because I've never been asked, why am I so emotional? I've never been told I was emotional. I've always been told I was too deep, but I've never been told I was emotional. So I had to check myself, so I wrote a poem about it. I can share it if you want me to.
Well, definitely. But before that, I want to ask.
Good.
Hopefully, you're willing to answer this. But
I answer anything.
Okay, great. So you said you're being drained by an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like? Do you feel like you're because I'm very skeptical when people say stuff like that. And we spoke earlier before the podcast about how there are things that goes on in our personal lives that have gone on in our past that we bring into the present, which impacts our future. Do you feel like we also talked about intentions just now, how you can pull the intentions out. You feel like this person is draining you or you're draining yourself within this situation?
That is definitely the reason. And maybe I do have an issue with relating myself better.
Right.
So I will say that the person themselves was extremely honest with me. But with words, not with actions. And I followed the actions and not the words. While the person,
But you should.
which I feel like I should as well, but the person stuck to their words and kind of denied the actions part. So I will say that the person wasn't draining me in a sense. It was my willingness to be around the person and want to help the person that drained myself in the situation. So you were right in that situation.
It was you. It was drowning yourself, but the person is the object, the catalyst that you can kind of blame or
not really blame.
Or say caused it, the causal effect of it.
My care.
Right. Because we talked about intention, and I feel like a lot of times that's a power that you have to lure someone in or just pull out their intention and then deal with them based on that. But a lot of times our powers can be used against us.
Yep.
I was teaching at Rikers the other day, and I was trying to explain this story to you earlier, but once I said Rikers, you got excited and we began the whole trifle conversation with her. And that's okay. I'm glad I get a chance to explain this again. So I was teaching at Rikers the other day, and I say inmate, and people be like, you can't say inmate because they're like people like us. And I'm like, okay, let me not say inmate. The participant in the program that I was teaching, who happens to be incarcerated, explained to me that I don't want to say their gender, I don't know if I already revealed it, but they like to play with people's minds, right? And they don't really want a serious relationship. But they was playing with someone's minds and made them feel like they really liked them. Just to play with their minds to see how it would work. And then that person played with their minds back and made it seem like they really liked them too. And that the person who initiated the playing with the mind actually now was caught in their own power. Now was caught in their own drama. Now they forgot this was all play. Now they forgot this was all a game.
Woo!
And
that's the purpose of life.
They forgot it was all a game. Now they're
that's
serious.
Life.
I was playing, but this is real.
Oh
I actually played into
life.
some reality.
Yes.
I actually played myself, but it feels like this is lit. Like I can play this game for the rest of my life. Is what they thought.
Until they got caught up.
Until the person who played dumb, who played with them, too, revealed that it was just playing.
Yeah, you started it.
And
I was just matching your energy.
What happened after that? After the person revealed that they were just playing, they realized that they were being mentally abused the whole time. And this person, which is what I want to get to, the point I'm making is that they specifically said only that they kind of played like, you know, this person drained me of my energy. This person did ABC to me, and now I need to,
Accountability.
you know, now I need to heal from it. When it was like, you know, like the whole story was you initiated it. So like, you know, I don't want to make you feel any way, but I just want to know if you're ready to reflect on the fact that this person may not be draining you.
No, it's you doing it to yourself. It is. Because at the end of the day, nobody can make you do anything. It's what you choose to do. So if you choose to do it, although the person is technically, like you said, the object of the situation, it's still a choice that you're making.
Right.
So yes, it is something that you're doing to yourself.
If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. We're back. Blue Poetry Podcast. Once again, we got Soul, a.k.a. Aisha. And, you know, I feel like this is the perfect time for, all the time has always been perfect to self-reflect, to like go over exactly what life is about. You know, I don't know who it was who said like a life unexamined is a life not worth living. I feel like that's always been the time. I think that was like Socrates or somebody, or, you know, someone ancient, somebody years ago. But like the whole point is like that's always been it. Like examine our lives. So we're not examining exactly what's going on, and how can we know where we're going? You know. So I think it's last time we left, we was talking about whether you were being drained or whether you were draining.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it's important to reflect on that. So I think now it's time for the people to hear your poem about the guys with ill intentions that you don't respect.
Why you keep making up the poem?
That's what I'm assuming it's about. You said you wrote a poem about your situation, about being over-sexualized.
No, so the poem is about...
I'm assuming that you're going to be just throwing shots at the whole idea of men and masculinity. And you know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of poems about, like, you dudes.
I respect men. I actually advocate for men a little too much, and women actually don't like that. Because I have a son, and I feel as though I can't be bashing men when I'm raising a black child.
Respect.
So I advocate for men all the time. I understand. Not that I fully understand your struggle because I'm not a black man, but I'm empathetic enough to understand your struggle.
Real talk.
And I don't tear you down, but if I show or try to project a certain kind of change that can happen within you, because the thing is when I meet certain guys, I see better in them more than they see within themselves. And what I do, which is an issue that I realize now, is that I push them to be that person, and they're not that person in their own head. I see that person, but they don't see that person. So I'm pushing that, and they're looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? You feel me? And it's like, okay, cool. I gotta leave now, because if you don't see that person and I'm trying to show you that you are that person, what am I supposed to do now? What? Because I know you have some type of battle against that too.
No, no battle. Like, it might seem like a battle to you because the way you perceive the question.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. This is Quindell Evans. With that phrase, I was making a song. I said it in a song, and then kept saying it. Yeah. So it wasn't like this is my phrase. I'm gonna make the phrase. I said it in a song. It sounded cool, and I like saying it over and over. So there was a song called Outer Space. I broke up with this girl last year who was
Alright, I'm gonna go to the shower real quick.
I broke with this girl last year. I don't know if it was like a break. I stopped talking to her. We wasn't really together. We was talking. Personally, I feel like, like, if I knew, what's your name, lovely?
Jai.
Jai?
Mm-hmm.
If I knew Jai, just knew her. I ain't like close friends, and we just knew each other. Like if I knew Jai, if I knew Jai and like we cool, but you know what I'm saying, like let's say I know Jai and Jai talks to one of my friends. That's how I know her. You know, or maybe I knew her before that, but then they started talking. Now she's talking to my man. Now it's like, you know, now it's that like bond that just like the friend talk to friend bond that's rare. So like, I know Jai because of that. Or I know Jai just, you know, I just know Jai. And one day I get a call from Jai, and she like, yo, Jai. One day I get a call from Jai, and she like, yo, my friend's soul is feeling you. Oh, I got a friend. You single? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm single. So I got a friend who interested in you. Come through and let's talk it out. I come over here. I look at you. I'm like, oh my gosh, she put me on to the most fire joint ever. This is crazy. And she deep like me. And we can have conversations and we talking. Oh my God, this is real. This is rare. And then we get to talking. And then 2-3 months down the line, I'm finding out like, alright, I might have did this with some other niggas too, and I'm just one of the niggas that y'all done, you know, gave a call to 4 niggas. I got a friend. You saying?
Are you serious?
So that kind of happened.
Oh my God.
Not necessarily that explicit. It wasn't like I was a nigga who, you know, that's my theory.
Okay.
But I found that I wasn't the only guy talking to the girl who I was put on to.
Yeah.
But because I was put on, when I'm put on, I feel like this is authentic. This is lit. Like, you don't get put on for some bullshit.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
Real shit.
that's what I feel.
Because the person knows you and then knows the other person.
I don't
So
feel like you
mean
get
to
put
say,
on
you know,
for something.
You talking to 50 different, and you put me on, like you, and
So
you put me on.
I
It's
can't
not
fuck
like,
with you no more, John.
Type shit.
Yeah.
I got it for a back. We was cool before. My man's still talking to you, but now I'm snitching on you every time me and my man come together. I'm like, yeah. Let me give you the down slow on shorty. You might be in love with her hard body. I might be at one, but I don't like your girl, big bro. Like, and that's how it happened. So I wrote the song called Out of Space. And if you listen to the song, you might not even know that it's about a breakup. Unless you some people like listen to lyrics and be like, oh yeah. But like when you bump into the song, it's just like an upbeat song and it's cool. And when that was the first time I said in the beginning of the song, if you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. You know, education. And then I liked the way it sounded. Like that was my first time playing with the little Caribbean accent and all that. So that's how it came. And then like, now that's the thing. Now people will see me and be like, yo, you don't know your education. I'll be like, oh my God. So like,
that's cool though. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
very
thing.
nice.
So I always say that.
Trend setting. You gotta
Right.
get it. Alright?
That's crazy. That is such a crazy situation.
It's
For
okay.
real.
You don't need that.
It's
Yo,
okay.
I'd have been
No,
so-
it's okay because I don't
Not
play.
the openness.
I mean, not that I
You
don't.
taste it.
We don't have to play victim.
Well, let the girl be on.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
true.
We don't have to play victim. You know, we don't have to play victim. We don't have to like this did that to me. Like, you know, we have
No,
choices,
yeah.
and I did what I did
You
to.
learned the lesson.
That.
And you kept it moving. Like, it wasn't like you didn't come with a crazy bad intent. You
I thought she was the
came,
one.
you talked to whoever you talked to.
Bendito.
Huh?
I thought she was the one on the low.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you came, you started
I
talking
be
to
feeling
somebody.
bad.
No, he came, he started talking to somebody, he wanted to find certain thing. Okay, it wasn't
Club.
them. It just was not them. Alright, bet. It's better that you had found that out now than 3 years
Correct.
into a marriage or whatever the case may be. You found out what you found out.
Yeah, but it's just not common. You hear men saying shit like that, so then when you hear it and then you hear they got fucked over, that's what creates the fuck niggas. Not to say that you're gonna be a fuck
yeah,
nigga.
but everything is
But
a
that's
cycle
what
too. Because what if
exactly.
he gets fucked over and decides to do that to the next person too?
And then that person-
Everybody does have a choice within themselves, and that's why it was good that you say, "All right, bet." You went into it and you were genuine. She just wasn't. Okay.
That's okay.
That's
But
life.
still make sure you
sometimes.
go into your next
It's
situation
fucked
just
up.
as genuine.
I think people are genuine though. I think everyone is genuine. It's just that we, like I said about time earlier, we carry things from the past that we haven't healed from, and our genuine.
Hey,
Our
hey.
genuine.
Yeah, maybe not.
Hey, you break,
You buy.
That is, thank you, baby.
Okay,
Because that is the saying in this house.
okay,
You
great.
break, say it with me.
Break out.
No.
You break.
You break.
you.
I can't say that because you're gonna
That
ask me
shit
to
she
buy.
takes how you
and I
know
don't
it.
be
What's
like,
this?
Like, what you
That's
want?
the same thing.
You want the change in my pocket?
No. Just say it with me so I know you know.
Okay,
where
you
I'm from.
break.
You break. You
You buy.
smell good. You buy.
Thank you. You buy. I'm straight.
And I
I'm
gotta
not
tell
buy.
people because if they be leaning in that close and they be smelling some type
This
of
her
way,
bag?
that's Leslie.
Oh
I'll be like,
my
yo,
God,
why you
this
so
girl is
close?
Beautiful all the way around.
You smell
Oh
good.
God, the children of blood and bone.
Yeah, dog. Why you think I got that?
Yes.
I'm keeping that. That's staying here.
I wrote this book called The Mouth Book Messages of Uplift to Heal. MOUTH is the acronym for Message of Uplift to Heal. Because that's all that should be coming out of our mouths.
Messages. That's like.
Messages of Uplift to Heal. MOUTH. And it was around a time where I wasn't too satisfied with the way things were going in my life, so I decided to change the course, you know? I mean, actually, around the time where I began writing affirmations, I was pretty excited. But I noticed, because I was having weekly meetings at my crib, and I had my crib, things happen. But,
You gonna get it again?
yeah, I'm coming back.
I feel
I'm
that.
coming back.
It's already here.
Yeah, it's here. I already see it, but...
There you go. Take that shit.
So I had a crib, and I was having weekly meetings. You know, when you come
Say
together
it
with
again.
people, I had a crib.
You have.
I have a crib, and I'm having weekly meetings. And when you come together with people, thank you.
You welcome.
When you come together with people, you know how differences just come to the surface. Like how we all had 3 different opinions of the same thing earlier, and we were sharing ours. That happens a lot at weekly meetings. And I realized, like, okay, if this was that time, I wouldn't have even surrendered. Like, okay, you actually all right.
Yes.
You actually right. I was wrong. I meant this. Da da da. I wasn't even that humble at the time.
Yes.
But I knew, like, I wanted to, and it would be like after the meetings to the next day. I would be literally like, yo, I was just a cornball. It would be a part of me just like.
You felt it later.
Yeah, like, why am I so egotistical? Like, why am I saw the discomfort on his face. Why did I allow him to leave my house in discomfort? Why didn't I just apologize? Why didn't I, why I gotta be, my perspective is the one? Why? So I began to write affirmations. Affirmations, you know what affirmation is?
Yes.
What's affirmation?
I have affirmations too. There's one
Give me a definition. Yeah.
Damn, a definition.
It's okay if you don't know how to explain it, but you do.
Okay, so basically for me personally, affirmation in my perspective is things that you say to yourself to affirm yourself, to basically keep yourself in a positive mindset so that you don't fall into that lower vibrational energy. And even if you do fall into that lower vibrational energy, if you say those affirmations to yourself, you can elevate yourself to come back into the higher self, to remember it's like you're supposed to be.
Okay. So I feel like what you just described is positive affirmation. But an affirmation is anything you say you want to come true. So that is good. That is positive affirmation.
Okay.
That's the affirmations that are in this book.
Okay.
Positive affirmation. But affirmation could also be, I'm having a bad day. Oh, today was a long day.
I get what you're saying. The duality of the two.
You know what I'm saying? I can
But I feel like
I can never mess with someone who's.
But I felt like you was
looks
talking
like
about
this.
positive
Yeah,
affirmation.
I was.
Okay.
But I just want to also make sure people understand how we always speak affirmations. So we be like, I can never
Doesn't matter what it is,
be a friend with somebody who talk like this, or I can never have a white friend.
That's why words have power.
Words have power. That's what affirmations is. Powerful
Yes,
words.
what you
Words
say.
that we speak and it comes true. So a lot of times we speak things and we're not necessarily aware of it being real, being true. That's why I be like, okay, I'm not gonna say time is not real. I'm not gonna say it because it's like it's real. And then if I be like, oh, money ain't real, but I'm behind my bills and like I need some real money. So So I began writing affirmations during that time. Around the time where I was having these meetings and I was reflecting on myself after the meetings, like I wasn't the kind guy. I wasn't a nice guy. I was just trying to be right. I wasn't really like, what kind of leader am I? If I'm the leader of these meetings, it's my career, I'm bringing people together to fund my projects, to bring ideas to my projects, to help me along. I kind of need to be less dictatorial and more of a communal leader. I want to work with people, not allow people to work for me. So I started writing affirmations. And then after writing affirmations for quite a while, I went into the state of like not appreciating life, like, you know, like I feel like I'm supposed to have this and I don't got it. I feel like I'm so talented and I don't have what my talent is worth, you know, and I feel like I'm worth more than what I have, and I feel like I ain't getting what I deserve, and I feel like, you know, things ain't the way I want it to be, and I literally was like not really appreciating life for what it could be appreciated for, you know, like.
It's crazy. I'm just thinking what you're talking.
So like, we was talking about suicide earlier, and I was literally like, yo, like, how can I do this? Jump in front of a train, that's too crazy. That's too much. Jump off a building, hold on, that might work.
It's gonna be too
I
much
don't know,
damage.
that's gonna be scary jumping.
Yeah.
But if I jump backwards, I ain't gotta see it. I was literally talking all of that. Like, I'm gonna jump backwards on the mountain. Then it was like, all right, nah, 'cause if I jump backwards, that's a chance of me surviving. Now if I survive, and now I'm crippled for the rest of my life, that's worse. I could have been walking though. So let me.
It is a good thing that you was able
I had to
break this
reflect.
down.
I had to reflect. Like, hold on, suicide is not the option for me. I got so many talents. There's people that's looking up to me. There's people that depend on me. My mom is still alive. My pop's still alive. My brothers and sisters is here. Like, I have friends. I have people that just call me just to say what up. I have people that, like, I know that sacrifice so much of their selves to give to me, and me letting go and giving up would be letting them down.
Yeah.
Knowing I have so much to give. And I think this is important because, like, I think about, like, Robin Williams and, you know, and what's the rapper dude who just passed? No, the dude who just committed suicide. Mac Miller. And I think about these people, I think, like, how much people that love these people's energy and, you know, appreciated them, but nobody knew how they were feeling on the inside. So I think me letting people know how I feel can allow me to deal with it. Because I could be feeling like this, and then 5-10 years later I commit suicide and nobody knew. Like, I don't know, like, he was always seemed like a cool guy. He came to my crib and podcasted and he was cool, he was uplifted. But it was like, no, I didn't know he was feeling that down. But like, if I share this with you, you know, let's just say, you know, like, oh, then 5-10 years later I do off myself, then it's like, yeah, like, he was battling with it, you knew. So like, the chances of me doing that is less because you will always be here for me. You always be like, oh, you good? So like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we don't necessarily even allow ourselves to admit it. So we're like just battling within ourselves, and we don't even allow people to help us if they don't know what we're going through. So like, you know, like, I was literally like, you know, I don't really care. We don't even get a chance to express that dark part of ourselves because we're afraid of how people going to pursue us. You know, some people might brush it off like, you good, bro, you ain't got nothing to be mad about. And then just think that's going to help. You good, bro, you got a lot to be living for, bro, you good. Like, you feel me? And like, we don't want to hear that. We might need something totally different sometimes. And that thing is something we don't even know we need. But that is what allowed this book to be much more powerful to me, because when I wrote the book, being so pessimistic, I didn't even appreciate. I knew that I wanted to write a book, but that's part of me was like, I don't care, it's just a book. But then it's like, hold on, like, this is what got me here, which what got me reflecting on life and death and appreciating life and not feeling worthy. Like, this is what it is. So like, after I'm realizing that, I appreciate writing this book so much more. So this is a book. I was writing an affirmation every day for like a year. So I took 100 of the affirmations and put them in a book. And then for every affirmation there's a question. And there's a lot of blank space you can write because you got to answer the question. So it's a self-reflection guide, like a journal to people. You get to read the affirmation, then you get to write. You know, because that's what I did to get myself more focused. So I wanted to share that process with people.
That you're doing that.
So yeah.
I wrote a book recently the one actually I told you that I'm trying to publish. For the photography class that I do, I wrote affirmations for the kids to do, and also to put their pictures in them too.
So we on the same page.
Yeah, that's dope. That's how I was a kid. It's funny.
So you know about the power of affirmations. like you said, you have affirmations on the wall, you write affirmations, you share affirmations, and I feel like that's important.
Yes.
So what I want to do is
I didn't do a poem yet either.
oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to share your poem. Go ahead, get it out the way right now, or get it on the way right now. So she wrote a poem about cornballs.
Stop saying that.
Cornballs who?
It's not that. It's not about the person what the poem is about.
Okay, but let me introduce it, and then they will see what it's really about. She wrote a poem about cornballs who got ill intentions and don't know how to color her correct as a real man. You feel me? Come to the woman correct. Come to her as a man, she treat you as a man. Come to her as a cornball, you treat her as a cornball. Feel me? So this is the poem to all you cornballs out there.
It's not how it goes. So basically, I wrote the poem to basically reflect on myself because I was asked if I was why am I so emotional? And I had to like really think on myself and really ask myself like, am I really that emotional? Is that really bugging? Because nobody's really asked me that. I've always been asked, like, I believe I said this already, but I've always been asked why am I so deep, but I've never been asked why am I so emotional. So I wrote this poem to describe like why I'm like kind of emotional. I guess it's a little deep, so we're gonna get a little perspective of my life. Okay, so I'm not really gonna perform it, so I'm just gonna read it. Yeah. Okay. With pain comes change. I've heard this so many times before. It was beaten into me. It was memorized and imprinted into the floor. I've stared at it so many times, rubbing the welts from the buckle of the belt, silent cries and begging no more. I remember the time when I was riding the bike I wasn't supposed to. I was told a lot of things I didn't listen to. Racing the neighborhood kids down the hill, craving just one sense of bliss, dying to escape all those hits that was equipped with so many regrets for their risks. I fell coming down that hill. That rock, also known as life, stuck to the wheel of the bike. I lost control and hit the pavement. I knew even that pain wouldn't compare to the one that was coming. My pain already wasn't enough payment. I've often questioned why am I so emotional? Why do I feel so deeply? I've seen death more times than I can count at the hands of someone who said they loved me. I was already abandoned by the person whose job it was to help create the soul I was supposed to be. So now that I was blessed with another chance, I was puzzled with what was granted to me. I learned that love is way more painful than created to be. And when taught to love aggressively, that soul had no choice but to create that same energy, which was then passed down to me. And although death was more common to me, I had no choice but to create the light you see. Because if I chose to be like them, the light you see would have probably been your enemy. That's fine. That's it. So ain't nothing about them.
So it's more about you coming correct. You know what I'm saying? Coming correct to the energy that you don't necessarily respect.
It's more explanation of why there is emotion and why I love so hard.
So, so what affirmations do you write on the regular? And I like your poem.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So, you know, there's certain things I say to myself. So I have weird affirmations. My affirmations sometimes be songs.
That's not weird at all.
So like, I have the affirmation, Holy by, I forgot her name. I forgot how her name, but the song goes, I woke up in the morning with my mind set on loving me. And that was one of my affirmations for a very long time. Because I always put energy into other people because I see so much potential in other people. And I feel like a lot of times that, not that I've reached my full potential, but I feel like I've reached a certain level of potential where I can help others. And when people don't want to reach it, it bothers me.
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra. Why did you breathe out like that? Explanations.
I feel like Libras could be everybody's friend.
Yeah, we're like that.
So like, I can backfire a lot. Always trying to, not always trying to, but always being available to other people can like take away from you being available to yourself.
Ugh, you never lie. That's why I drink wine.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
So you write original affirmations too or not?
Yes, sometimes. I had wrote affirmations mostly when I was getting abused, just basically to program my mind not to allow the
Abuse to
control me mentally,
Break
or
it
not to project it, because I have a son as well.
type. You mean we was getting abused if you are comfortable sharing?
Mm.
You were getting abused in what type of situation?
So, this is just what I believe. My perspective is, my parents adopted me at a very older age, and they weren't ready for the teenage years that came along with that. And I was abused in the sense of physically. My mom, like, she was wilding a lot. She was Caribbean too, so if you know anything about Caribbean parents, they don't really understand the thin line between abuse and discipline. So, once you reach America, it's abuse now. It's not really discipline anymore.
Okay.
So, excuse me. So, I was abused physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Mostly emotionally and spiritually because I wasn't their child. So the constant, oh, you don't even need to be here, or the constant, we could have left you where we found you, as a child can really fuck your mind up. So, being trapped in that mindset and knowing that you didn't really belong there, like your entire being didn't project the energy that they projected every day. So it's just a very trapping feeling. So I had to write things to break myself out of the cycle of, okay, this is clearly what I deserve. Take shit.
That's what's up. You were able to reflect on it. I think that's the beauty of life is, many of us go through many different things. Some of us go through entirely other things. I wouldn't say worse are better, but like entirely other things on a different scale. And our ability to accept and reflect on them in ways that allow us to not carry it into the present is the power that we have as humans to make choices right now. It may not be a fault that happened to you, but it is your responsibility now as an adult to
not use it to keep going.
To use it to keep going, or not to, because you could use that to fuel you. You could use it in a positive way. You can use it to fuel you in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where
the choice.
Yeah, that is where the choice lies. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And that's why I wrote this mouth book, because it was like I was reflecting on myself and like, why am I this way? Why am I this way? I'm going to read one of the affirmations from the book. Matter of fact, I'm going to share one of the affirmations that I wrote. And we could, and I would love to hear your perspective of it. It's funny what this affirmation is. So, this affirmation says, I am a product of choices and decisions, not a victim of circumstance. Self-control is key when controlling the situation is out of my hand.
Synchronicity. You were supposed to write that. High five. Good job.
It's funny, like I didn't even know that like
exactly.
We're right here. Like,
that's the way the universe works. That's the exciting part.
So,
well, you look sexy.
I am a product of choices and decisions, not a victim of circumstance. Self-control is key when controlling the situation is out of my hand. So I want to ask you, like, what do you think about that? But I feel like you already explained it. Just
you feel me?
Right.
I mean, I could expand.
Okay, great.
Basically, because I ask people that. People, I like you said earlier, I kind of pull people's intentions out. So guys that I meet, if I know they grew up in the hood or in a neighborhood where that wasn't good for them. I asked them, are you a product of your environment? Because understanding where you're from and understanding that you don't have to be that person is important. Even understanding the environment you grew up in the sense of your home. You don't have to be that person. You can still project a better image than the one you've seen before. It's about how you control yourself.
How you control yourself now, the power of now. So
Where you going in?
You got no trash bags?
I don't know, bro. Where is the bin?
You threw it out.
Shit.
Yeah, you talking about where is the bin? I cannot believe you really just asked that question.
No, because you know what? The last thing I remember was it being in your room.
No, we had the bin out here the entire time.
That's your garbage out there?
No. Well, I'm about to take everything out.
Because I had took the garbage out in the door, and I thought it was your garbage out there, but I didn't know, so I left it there.
I think that Puerto Rican girl dropped it downstairs.
Right.
Sorry.
So it's all good. Self-control is, I feel like self-control is one of those simple things we were talking about earlier that's so simple that it's hard to implement in our lives. You know, self-control. Because it's like easy, control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, there's things that, there's things that hook us, and it's like, nah. You know, I just want to like let go of self-control in this moment, you know, and like, and it allows us to explore other realms of not being in control of ourselves and see how far we could go. So, I think a lot of us, you know, have that ability to like see how far we could go without controlling ourselves. You know, like if something happened in my past that caused a certain trauma, I want to see, you know, I think that's where like a lot of toxic relationships begin to build, when it's like, you know, like, and we know what we're doing when it's like we're arguing and screaming and abusing someone, and then it's like, I want to see how far I can get by screaming. I want to see how far I can get by abusing. I want to see how far I can get by putting them down. See how much they're going to let me put them down. I want to see how much they're going to let me neglect them and stuff like that. And that's personally what I notice about me. Me, like, personally, like, I don't know. I just feel like as a Capricorn, I could kind of want to be alone sometimes. But in the same aspect, I really don't want to be alone. I just want to kind of know that I can have my space when I want it. But in the same time, I want you to invade my space.
Nobody got time for you. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, but it's like, it's like if I say, yo, like, get out my face, leave me alone, don't talk to me. That really just means like,
that's some woman shit.
Okay, that's some woman shit. So when I do some woman shit, and like I'm like, get out my face, don't talk to me. Yeah, if I do some woman shit, like get out my face, don't talk to me, like leave me alone. I really just mean like, if you really want to talk to me that bad, don't let these words stop you. You know, like, otherwise, if you like, that's what I really mean. Like, if you really gonna get out my face and don't talk to me,
can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm feeling what I'm saying. Like, if you're really gonna stop talking to me, then like obviously that's what I'm feeling. Like, you let my words.
That's that manipulation bullshit.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, but he understands that about himself, and he's telling you that.
Exactly. Like, I understand that I'm not being.
Be like, really?
Yeah, I'm understanding that I'm not being like
fair.
That I'm not being that I'm not allowing myself to come in a healing way. I'm not allowing myself to come in a way that I'm overcoming past trauma. I'm not allowing myself. I'm sticking to old things. You know, I'm sticking to old habits that are unhealthy, and that's what I feel like. You know, I noticed that about me. I can do that. Like, you know, but and I feel like the people who are self-reflective, you know,
they got more of a chance, you know.
I don't know how this could come off, but the people who are good at controlling themselves are good at controlling others. So like if you was to be able to master, you know, like your, you know, like it depends on who I say that to and how they take it, you know. You know, because if I say like get out my face and talk to me, like leave me alone, it can come off different to someone who's been neglected in their past by their parents, and they really like take it to the heart, like, and then literally don't talk for hours and be like, "You said don't talk to me." And they come off to someone else and be like, "I don't care. Like I'm gonna talk to you. Like come here, give me a kiss. Like don't even like
you be alright."
Yeah, like you feel me? And like so like that is the difference between controlling yourself and like manipulating others. Is like it depends on the other person too. You know? So like a lot of controlling ourselves is about actually knowing ourselves, knowing where we're at, because you can at any point in time have a trigger that allows you to let go of control, and then you take advantage of that, and depending on who you're dealing with, can ripple into something that's completely out of your control. Yeah. Now you're deep into out of control realm. So like I feel like when we are out of control, we kind of need to know who we're dealing with. We might need someone who's more in control of themselves, so they are able to bring us back. Yeah. But if you're too broken, out of control, then nobody help you. All right. So I feel like that's where like that affirmation comes from. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I'm a product of choices and decisions. I'm not a victim of circumstances. Self-control is key I'm a product of choices and decisions, not a victim of circumstance. Self-control is key when controlling the situation that's out of my hand. So like, if I can't control the situation, that means it's ironic, I might not have much self-control. Mm. You know, if I have self-control, then the situation is always going to be able to control too. You know, because it's like a inside-outside thing. So like, but moreover, when I wrote that, I'm thinking like, you know, when something is not working for me, you know, I might not have enough money to buy something that I think I need or I want. I might not have as much resources, or I might not, I want to be a millionaire. I'm not. And it's like, okay, can't control spending $100,000 right now if I want $100,000 worth of things, but I can control myself to budget. I can control myself enough to save. I can control myself enough to have a financial plan, to be more financially literate. I can control myself to learn about business, stocks, investing. I can control that part so that I can gain more self-control over my $1 million vision. So like, and that also came from that time where I was in meetings and I'm like, people, being around so many different people can cause me to bring certain things out of me. And it's like, I need to learn self-control. And I'm learning that more and more every day. It's like sometimes when I get into debates or differences with people, sometimes let it win, And when I surrender and be like, yo, you right? More, I realize that like the people can actually see who I am and realize like, okay, I see your point. Mm-hmm. But when I'm just trying to prove my point, I'm not really getting through because they could feel the ego. They could feel the energy, and the energy is what they're disagreeing with, not necessarily my point. Exactly. So, delivery. So this book is about that, like allow me to self-reflect on myself. So I wanted to share this with people so that they can self-reflect as well. And that's affirmations, and there's also questions, like one of these is like a prompt. Write a letter of thanks to anyone or to multiple people at a time. You can keep it to yourself, or you can share with them. So you can just like write good thanks on pages. You could write plans. What's the difference between a friend and a peer? What's the difference between a friend and a peer? A friend and a what? A peer, like someone who's your peer, like your associate. Someone's your friend.
Where'd she go?
She went to school. Well, I'm going to text her too.
I was just asking, but I need to get you holding your feelings, girl.
No, I wasn't even that. I'm just like, I just thought about it. Like, I just realized she wasn't in here.
Made it seem like she was coming right back.
Nah, because she texted me and said somebody else was with them. Can they come upstairs? And I was like, fine.
She did say somebody was coming to pick up something. So.
Yeah.
So right after this, we could wrap it up. It's been pretty intense.
Sorry. That's my shit. I just remembered that little video. I need to stop doing that shit.
Be you.
Girl, what is you doing in there? Y'all gotta sweep like a mug, bro. I gotta clean.
Where's the
It's in over there. Peyton's supposed to come here. You hear me?
Who's Peyton?
We get into this conversation so much. I'm gonna say it the way I normally say it, and I know he not gonna kill her.
What?
It's the one your homie was gonna kill.
Oh, that girl.
Yeah, she's supposed to come get the bread for the thing she did for me.
She's supposed to do what?
Come get the money for the logo she did for me.
Oh, okay. How much was it?
40.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't give a fuck about that nigga. You can show me.
Okay.
I don't like to hear.
Okay. I was making sure you knew because you know you said to talk about who's coming in the crib.
Yeah, that's true. Word. Cause all that drama and that shit.
Yeah. I ain't with it. I love her though. And she finessed my shit. I want her to do another one. But I ain't got another $40. I want to play my theme song so bad, but I don't feel like it at the same time.
Alright, so before we end this off,
Name ain't even leave
it's okay. Before we end this off, what is three things you could say to people to make them be more of themselves, be more focused on their goals, to appreciate life more? You know, three things that matter of fact, here's this. What's three things that made you smile yesterday?
Weed.
On Friday, one thing was weed.
Waking up in the morning.
Okay.
The sun on my face.
Sun on your face.
My
weed.
son called me.
Your son called you.
And just being grateful for just all the experiences that I have, all the blessings that I have in front of me. Like, I have my own spot. I have a dope ass roommate. I don't gotta deal with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a dope ass kid. You know what I'm saying? As bullshit that I went through with my ex still hold me down with bread when I need it. And honestly, he's the only person that called me yesterday to check if I was good when I was in pain. So I appreciate that. I appreciate every day I wake up. I literally just appreciate everything that's around me because I know that, number one, I try to end it all a couple of times. So to just still have the amount of blessings that I have around me is dope. It's mad dope.
No doubt. Well, thank you for this very intense and
Definitely.
overly everywhere podcast.
It's lit though.
Yeah, this is Liddy. You feel me?
It's lit though.
She was the first person I asked to pop out on the podcast.
You ready now?
First guest on the Blue Poetry podcast. You feel me?
It's lit.
So,
first person.
you know you got to start with the soul.
I appreciate you. That's
where everything begins.
And I'm gonna say on your podcast, this young man right here definitely killed his ego and definitely allowed women to shine for a couple of seconds and understand that we were all making points and that our point was just as valid as his, and men don't do that. And I just wanted to commend you on your own shit and let you know that you fired for that.
Men don't do that.
You fired for that.
Remember that.
Make sure you put this on there.
I bet.
You fired for that.